Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Mark from Solo Games. A little bit nude background this time around. I'm actually traveling this week, so sorry for the slower uploads. We'll get right back on schedule next week. Also, kind of doing some of the recording off my phone, but we got this live mic here, so it should help a lot with the audio. Yeah, let me know if you guys like the sound and all this stuff. All right, we got some big news to cover today, right? I'm sure by the time you're seeing this video, you already saw Rudy's 2 videos. Pretty big news. So I just caught up. Pretty busy this week, but I just caught up on the articles and what's happening. But a double downgrade by Bank of America is going to send some waves throughout the world. So catch everybody up. For those of you guys who missed it, go to Google and search for Magic the Slathering. And there's a ton of articles out there already by, I think, pretty much all the major publications, just basically taking a huge, fat, steaming dump on Wizards, Hasbro really, but basically saying Hasbro is ruining Magic, slaying their golden goose, destroying everything that is going to be basically their cash cow. And honestly, I mean, do we all disagree? We've been talking about this for the past month. Honestly, when I first started talking about this topic, I had like 70 subs. By the end of it, I'm now over 1,000. So obviously, I think we're on the right path. I mean, these videos are getting 98, 99, 100% thumbs up. So I know you guys care about the same things I care about. And apparently whatever I'm saying, and you guys are agreeing with it. So let's continue. I think for the video today, I do want to kind of be a little bit more constructive. I think I see a lot of things out there that are all just negative. I know Wizards won't listen to me because who the fuck am I? I'm just a dude who's paying them money to buy cardboard. And realistically, if you haven't heard it yet, be really cautious with anything from this year, anything from next year. And what everyone already knows, we're all going to be up on Black Friday looking for the Amazon dumps. So we'll see how that goes. But that doesn't mean that Hasbro can't turn this shit around. They totally can do it. And the crazy part is, I think the echo chamber and the yes men that they're filled with right now is what's causing them to eventually have a downfall. So really, honestly, I'll just say these tips, or I'll give my advice. I know they won't listen, but maybe if enough of us say these things and continue to say it loud and clear, then the echo chamber will be beyond just what Hasbro and the internal employees are saying. So let's get started. Originally, I actually took all these notes down for a video I was going to make when I get back, but given how drastic things have gotten, I think we got to talk about these now. So, all right. So the first thing is this: admit mistakes. So the very first thing they need to do, and I think originally I was thinking they need to just do this internally. It doesn't have to be public, but they do have to sincerely and internally admit that they're wrong. What they've been doing for the past 2 years is not sustainable. This started with about Throne of Eldraine, and has gone to this point where I'm not sure what the future of Magic even looks like anymore. At least if we continue going down this path. Now, I don't think Hasbro or Magic is going to just die, but if we continue down this path and we continue to not listen endlessly and keep pushing that agenda, doubling down on being wrong, then yeah, there could be a high risk that there will not be this game in 2 to 3 years. So the first thing they have to do is admit mistakes. And given that it's out in the public and everyone's basically saying you're total shit, you're ruining this game, you're ruining everybody, nobody likes you, the collectors, the players, the investors, nobody likes you. The stores that are supporting you, nobody likes you right now. So the first thing you need to do is admit your mistakes. And you have to do this publicly now. We can't just do this internally at Wizards, at Hasbro, whatever. And the thing about mistakes is really interesting. It's going to drive some changes. And I want to first kind of applaud, if I can, Wizards in general, is that, change is not bad. Change is actually everything that helps to sustain a company. If you think about it, like Mark Rosewater with the unsets. We can hate unsets all we want. I'm not a big fan of unsets, to be honest. I think they're very draining to play. Okay, there's a lot of things you have to do. I just don't really want to play them overall. But unsets also, admittedly, gave us some of the best things about Magic. I mean, full art lands. Everyone fucking loves full art lands. That came from unsets. The first sets ever made of full art lands were the ones done by Chris Rush with collaboration with Mark Rosewater. So they worked together and get full art lands put into an unset, which then became like what we all love. And really, I think the spirit of change is that we never stop trying, because people want fresh things. People don't want to keep having the same. I mean, do you want a set that looks just like the previous one? Nobody wants that. They want something different. They want something unique. They want something that's new. And the unsets allow them to do the exploration. But that doesn't mean that it has to end at the unset. They could continue doing it from other sets as well. And realistically, even when you're making changes, you're going to make mistakes. That's fine. Make those mistakes. Accept them. Learn from them. I mean, at this point, if they haven't fucking figured this shit out, they need to go figure that out now. I mean, you have little kids who know this. If a little kid runs into a wall, what's the next thing they're going to do? I mean, I watch my daughter do this all the time, right? Like, she'll do something. She doesn't know it's wrong. She does it. She gets hurt. She doesn't do it again. In fact, she's so afraid of some things now because she understands I don't do that thing. If a little kid understands this, you know, adults that run billion-dollar companies really need to understand this. I mean, you're not just putting your money and livelihood on the line. You're putting everyone else there too. So this is really, really important. The first thing is I do want to give them some accolades for the fact that it does look like Wizards still trying things. Now, the key is that when you fail with what you try, you don't double down. You change, you adjust, you pivot, you do whatever is needed to win. Not to promote your agenda, not to say we're absolutely right, we're going to show you, we're going to shove it down your throat until you also believe it. That's crazy. Who thinks this way? Second of all, we have to talk about slowing the fuck down. Slow your fucking production down. Slow down the rate of release, all this extra product. Stop it. I mean, look, man, I love Warhammer decks. It was cool. Hey, I also would have loved Warhammer decks if it was made once, cap the price, and be done with it. Why reprint the shit out of these decks? Just because you want to hit your numbers? Fuck you, dude. Who are you here to like keep doing this to other people? Look, there's a finite amount of cash that Magic players have. Stop printing so much products that you're diluting yourself to death. Short term, yes, it's going to raise capital, but long term, you're killing the company. You're killing the IP. That's insanely stupid. Anyone can tell you this. The hubris is insane. Cut your print runs. You know, if every other game is cutting their print runs and you can see that they're doing much, much better because of it, why do you think you're like so much better that you can run with 3, 4, 5, 20, 30, 40x their print runs? Every single set consistently, over and over again, and then giving us shitty products. What the fuck is this Jumpstart shit with like Brothers War, Dominant? Nobody wants this product. You should have taken the feedback. You know what I want to see Wizards do, and they'll never do this, but this is what I would love to see them do. You know how you make serialized cards super amazing? You go to the factory, you take a pallet of collector booster, you don't open them. You burn the shit out of it. Set it all on fire. Show us you're serious. We printed too much. We're going to burn half the supply. Control your fucking supply, man. You know this. You have all the numbers. You don't release anything to us. You know how much is going through distribution. You know how much you're selling on Amazon. You know what the price points are too. I mean, we can all pretend we don't understand what the secondary market is. We can all pretend that there is no prices. These are game pieces. They're free. Fuck you, dude. Seriously? They cost money. They cost probably way too much money. If I go to buy a board game, it costs me $50 for like a pretty decent board game. I can play that for years. If I buy a set of Magic, it's going to cost me $110, $120, and I'm done with that in one draft at one night. That's it, with 8 people. That's insane. Your margins are insane. If they can print game pieces with like miniatures that they're carving and shit like that in small batch print runs and sell that game for $50, you can sell your game for less than what you're selling right now. Or just print less. If you want to hold the price, it's fine. Magic players already gotten used to this whole like whatever the price we charge. Hold your price, print less. I mean, you hired a bunch of economists, right, to the company to tell you exactly how supply and demand works, and they fucking don't understand Econ 101? You know how much product's going out there. You know how much is being absorbed. Stop shoving the shit down our throat. Cut the print runs, be serious about it, and tell us about it. Or just tell us the print runs. If you're so proud of the number you're printing, that you're so confident your game is 30, 40, 100 times better than other games, tell us how much you're printing. Be confident. You know what? We are 100 times better than Flesh and Blood. We're going to print 100 times more boxes than them. Go for it. You know why you won't do it, right? It's because you are not confident you are that good. People tell me that like Flesh and Blood is inferior game to Magic. Look, to be honest, I don't really enjoy Flesh and Blood. I think it's fun. I still love Magic more. Right? If you had to just give me a choice for the rest of my life, am I playing Flesh and Blood or Magic? I'm going to choose Magic. Today, tomorrow, probably for a while. If one day Flesh and Blood shows me something different, maybe I'll choose that game instead. And if Magic keeps going down the shithole right now, maybe I will choose Flesh and Blood or some other game in the future. But here's the reality. How many people attended Magic 30 and didn't have a good time? Look at the attendance of Flesh and Blood, a new fucking game, and they have more events and GPs and tours or whatever going out all over the country in US. Again, I'm sure there are events outside of US as well. But just looking at the events in US, they have thousands of people turning up for a new game. You tell me this game is not popular? That's not what I'm seeing. What I see is the opposite. Now, we can say the Flesh and Blood crowd is more devoted, like their turnout is better. Okay, aren't you then proving my point? If Flesh and Blood only has 10,000 fans and 2,000 of them show up for every single fucking event, it's a fucking good game, right? Because their fans are loyal. You can tell me if Magic has 100,000 fans, but if not even 1,000 people show up, tell me what's going on. Why? Why is your game so shitty that not even 1% of the players want to come out for your events? Is it because maybe you're charging $300 at the door, and that's before you even play any events, so they can buy some overpriced booster pack from you and not get a seat to play anything? Listen to your customer. Number 3, listen to your customers, man. If the customers aren't happy, you're not gonna have a happy time. I think every single time I think about this point, I always go back to that interview with Steve Jobs, where, I mean, actually, it's more than Steve Jobs, but I think that's the most dominant one, where he talks about firing, like, Scully. And the whole idea is because he realized that Scully was ruining his company. He hired a bunch of marketing people to market and sell the product, and they forgot how to make a good product, because all that's happening internally at the company was promoting all these people who were selling the product better, and nobody was worried about making a better product. That's what's happening. It's all about selling the product. It's all about marketing the thing, and nobody's there making a better product. Look at all the ban list. Look at all these unbalanced cards you have. Why? I mean, like, what's going on with R&D where they can't design cards correctly? Look, man, when Dominaria United came out, I gave Karn the benefit of the doubt. I thought, man, you know what? The Karn was probably too powerful. They had to nerf him. So they gave him probably one more mana cost, one less loyalty, whatever the fuck, right? And so they had to nerf him down a little bit so he's more balanced. But don't worry, Power Stones are going to be a thing come next set, and it's going to turn everything around. We'll see what's going on. Did we? Karn's still total shit. Why would you print this card at all? If at some point you realize this card just sucks, don't print it. Please, take it back into the drawing board. Don't print it. Make it something better. I don't want to see any more garbage, trash fire mythic rares. What is going on where the highest rarity of your game has like 20-30% of the cards are complete trash? Why? I don't need bulk mythic rares. I already have bulk rares. Listen to your customers. If they're angry, if they don't like these $1,000 booster packs, then don't sell them. You can make a change. Fuck it, burn it all. Give them out as prizes. Whatever you're going to do, just send them all to LGSs and then give them out as, like, I don't know, tournament prizes. There's many ways you can churn through that inventory without pushing it onto the market for $1,000 and pissing everyone off. You think the collector's happy? Honestly, when I look at these numbers, I'm thinking, oh, cool. So you're just confirming that, dual lands should be $300 minimum and higher. That's not a bad thing. Now, people are dumping revised duals, but then I go back and say, okay, cool. So if you want to sell me a UGS for 300, I'll buy it. Buy it today or buy it tomorrow. Let's go. Because I can tell you, revised UGS, how many are there? Revised tropical islands, volcanic islands. Yes, revised was a very, very, very printed to oblivion, right? But man, if you want to talk about print runs, the print runs back then are nothing like what they are now. I mean, we're talking like between all the product lines of draft set, collectors, theme boosters, fucking fat packs, and bundles and PR kits, and you got like jumpstart kits, your single boosters, the blister packs at Walmart, Target. I think they're printing 1 million booster boxes a set. If 1 million cards of a certain card at when they talked about printing that for Pokemon upset a bunch of Pokemon collectors, let me tell you something. There's more than one card per booster box of a certain card. So we're already printing way more, over 1 million per card, right? It's insane. You think you're just so much better than every single card game out there, that you dominate, 90% of the market share, that you can just print to oblivion and still get this kind of prices? Sure. Hey guys, if you want to sell me your duels, you want to sell me your revised, worthless, reserve list cards, please send me an email, solargamesllc@gmail.com. I will buy them. I know everyone's closing down their fucking buy list, so I'll buy them. Fuck it. Let's go. Listen to your customers, man. Listen to the problems, but don't listen to our solutions. Seriously. I'm not the best person to tell you what to do. You know all the fucking numbers. Go figure that out yourself, right? You're getting paid for it. When I give you $120 for a booster box, I'm not just buying the cards inside. I'm buying your decision making too. I'm buying your smartness. I'm buying the fact that you're going to make this game better tomorrow than it is today. I don't want to see this downhill shit. And then you have the audacity to raise prices on everybody. 18% in price increase on set boosters, and give us a shittier product? Who's just gonna sit here and let you do this? Sure, we may get tricked 1 set, 2 set, 3 sets in a row. Not anymore. I mean, hell, like everyone probably here knows I sell singles on eBay, TCG Player. Maybe I just stop doing that. Fuck it. Like, why? I do all this work so I can lose $1,000? What's the point? You need to fire your echo chamber, and yes, man. And honestly, this is happening everywhere. I mean, this is not a isolated Wizards problem. Look at the entertainment industry. Who likes Ring of Power? Who likes She-Hulk? Who likes Star Wars? That's what we're dealing with. I mean, and all this, what's recent? Like Witcher, right? The whole Henry Cavill thing. He's leaving because the writers are like, oh, we fucking hate The Witcher. Then stop fucking writing for The Witcher. Go write your fucking story. Make another series. Don't ruin mine. The problem internally at Wizards, probably, and Hasbro in general, is, hey, we're doing well. We're doing super well. This is good. Everything's great. The players love us. So they continue going down the path. I mean, I listened to that stupid Mark Rosewater podcast about Magic 30, and he was like, oh, it was okay. I think the one problem we had was, we kind of didn't have enough space. Even he admitted to the space problem. So you know how much fucking problem that was for the players to show up to a thing, pay $160 plus hotel, plus flights, plus the whole weekend, and don't even have a place to play Magic. How can they have events on the first day and not have basically events fire every time they have a pot of 8? How? How can you just make it so that you could, it's almost like, and Mark is like, oh, it's pretty good for the first time. It's not the fucking first time you ran an event. You've been here for 30 years. You're telling me you've never run a Magic event before? You don't know how to do any of this stuff? You don't know how to fire events off? You don't know how to provide spaces? People bought your tickets. You knew how many people were coming. You know how many people bought Command Zone. Cut Command Zone in half. Give those tables out to public. I know it's going to ruin your bottom line. Oh, well, if I didn't have to pay for that section, how come I need to pay for this? Yeah, I get it, man. But don't ruin the whole experience and have a bunch of people hate you afterwards. It's insanely stupid. Yeah, this echo chamber has got to stop. They need to fire a bunch of the people inside who are just telling them, oh, you're doing great, you're doing great. Look where that's getting you. You're doing great, you're doing great. And so what? Are we doing great now? Is it still happening? Is it still great? It's insane, man. You need to communicate that you fucked up. Just honestly come out publicly, say you fucked up. Yep. Burn 1,000 copies of some card live. Take Mox Amber, burn it. Take Wormcoil Engine, take like half of the serialized cards, burn it. See what happens. Guarantee you, the amount of money you lost on that product by burning it, you're gonna gain so much in two things. One, goodwill, and second, what do you think is gonna happen to those collector's boosters? Instantly, those 150 more K boosters that you have left in your fucking storage that you have to dump on Amazon, people are gonna pay you $250, $300 for them. If you burn half of it, that's all you need to do. You burn half, you can sell the other half. Otherwise, dump it on Amazon for $89. Your choice. And don't tell me you can't do it, right? You're making so much money that you can take a hit here. Look, you're gonna take a hit either way, left or right. You're either gonna take a hit because you print so much, nobody wants to have any confidence in this game anymore. You got distributors who don't even want to order products. You got stores who can't sell the products because everybody's nickeling and diming each other. I mean, I went to some store on TCG Player. I don't have to go to the distributor for this. I paid the guy like $95 shipped for Unfinity draft boosters. And I cleared them out. I think I bought 16 of them. So the guy selling to me from a game store in Florida probably took like a 20% haircut from his distribution price. Whatever he paid to the distributor. He's just trying to get shit off his books. It's so dumb that you're doing this to everybody. And the only reason this is happening is because there's too much fucking supply and you cannot control yourself. Collaborate properly, right? Don't collaborate with a bunch of people who are just going to say yes. Have some people who are going to check you. Have people who are listen to Rudy, listen to Moxman, listen to MTG Line, listen to all of us. Again, not our solutions. Just listen to the problems. There's a lot of things you can glean from these videos that is going to tell you exactly what's happening. And look through the comments. Pretty much all the players are telling you exactly what you need to do, exactly what the problems are, and all you have to do is recognize that they're problems. I don't understand what's happened in our society where we cannot admit mistakes, because admitting mistakes is admitting weakness. That's so insanely dumb. That's how we learn as a society. You know, like how evolution works, right? You make mistakes so that the next generation doesn't make those mistakes, because the ones that made those mistakes fucking died. So you have change, you have variance, which is basically the difference. And then the ones that are different, somehow those changes allows you to survive to the next generation and the generation after that, and you could continuously adapt to your environment. The change is not a bad thing. Making a mistake is not a bad thing. What's going to kill you is not admitting those mistakes and not making change. And continue down, dying on a hill. It's so stupid. Next thing I want to say is just address the full community. Stop with this whole we only have players, whatever. Here's the community. We have casual players, tabletop, and those people who just they buy a pack of Magic every year and they don't really understand anything that's happening. Then you got the people who are like the super Timmy and Tammys, right? Who are like all into story and whatnot. Make sure the story is good. Make sure you have good lore. Make sure you have good those kind of supporting pieces are present. And then make the spikes happy. The pro players, right? Make sure that they understand hey, this game is still fun. There's things to figure out. There's new combinations we can work through. Every set is different. It's fresh. Address the collectors. They exist too. The collectors are going to give you the most money. Who's buying your fucking secret layers? It's all the collectors. They don't need 7 more copies of Berserk. But it does help because they will buy it because you have a different art. They want to support the artist. Call it what it is, right? You can say on the cover you're supporting the artist, but really you're printing a single for like $25. That's what you're doing. You're selling singles. Also, the investors. I know they don't want to admit it. They don't want any investors. But do they really not want any investors? Because when a failing Magic fails, right, and you do an Amazon dump, who's going to come in and scoop up 100 booster boxes? Right? When the distributors has no confidence in a product, who's going to come in and buy that many? Who are going to be the people who are basically helping to fuel a healthy singles market by mass box opening your sealed products at pre-release, doing all this extra work? Make sure those people are taken care of too, because without them, you don't have a standard. I think a lot of people don't understand, but do you know how hard it is to pull 4 mythic rares? Do you know how many boxes you have to open to make sure you have 4 of the same card in mythic rare? And if there's one card like that where it's needed for a deck for standard, there's going to be people who need to be opening lots and lots of boxes to make sure there are players that need these cards can buy them, right? Have they even put any thought into this at all? So if you nuke the investors, the people who want to do all this like work to make sure the cards in the market, and I don't even mean the old school investors right now. I just mean like people who are basically the sellers, the LGS and whatever. If you nuke them and fuck them in the face, why would they open your sealed product? And now you have players who are paying like $300 for a card because nobody's opening the sealed products. Is that really healthy for this game? Especially when you want every card to be like, 0. Yeah, make sure you address all of them. Everyone. Not just the people you like, not just the people that you want to be part of your community. The community is everybody. I'm part of the fucking community too. So is Rudy. So everyone. The people who want to abolish the reserve list, the people who want to uphold it, the people who don't fucking care. We're all part of the community. Address all of us. Rip the Band-Aid off now. Don't worry about changing over time. Just do it now. I know they won't listen, but you need to do that now. Think about it. You don't have time to go like slowly make a change. Do it now. And the more abrupt you do it, the more serious you're going to come out. And the players, everyone in the community will know you're serious because you're making drastic changes now. Versus, slowly making little changes. Nobody's going to fucking care. By the time you're done, everyone's already gone. And then you have to win back your customers. Is that really what you want to do? All right, so in conclusion, I think Steve Jobs said it best, right? Build a great product first. Take care of your customers, and the money, all that will come as a reflection of a job well done. Your short-term profits for long-term loss is going to be a disaster. Sure, you may have a great fourth quarter because you're selling products for $1 million. But long-term, it's not going to fly. You anger the investors, you anger the collectors, you anger the players. No one's happy. And then what happens at the end? No one's going to buy your shit. And that's when you truly lose. Honestly, right now, if you think about it, there's a lot of people who care about Magic. That's why I'm making this angry video. I'm angry because I care. The moment I stop caring, the moment Rudy stops caring, the moment everyone's off of your shit and just talking about some other game, it's over, dude. You don't want apathy. I think even Mark Rosewater recognizes this. He never wants to design sets where there are cards everyone just says, it's okay. He wants to build cards that some people love and some people hate. And I think that's a great aspiration. I just wish that Wizards can learn that, take that to the whole company, and Hasbro can allow Wizards to do this on their own free will instead of pushing them and pushing this stupid profit agenda on them. That's causing, honestly, profit's going up, but at the sacrifice of everything else. And that's just what I want to say. When Magic dies, it will not die with a bang. The fact that we're having a bang right now, that's good. Because when Magic truly dies, it will be with a whimper. The fact that the community is angry is not a bad thing. That does mean that you also have the ability, the chance to steer the ship around. But you got to do that now. There's no time to delay. You can't waste this shit. You can't be like, be relaxed and whatever, and maybe you'll be better. No, you don't have time for that. Do it now. Stop dicking around, man. All right, Smart Solo Games. I'll see you next time. Bye.